Welcome back. You're watching Timmy. My name is Rudy. You're watching something. Being filmed mid-October 2025. Stargate 17-69. 69th attempt to visit the stepsister. 70th attempt to understand the world that we're in. Reporting live as a 41-year-old meat popsicle. The most serious cardboard YouTube channel in the industry who must do everything he can to stay sponsored. I must not get banned. Am I banned? Sensitized. No. Censored. Sponsored? Do we have sponsors? No. Can we have blow-up doll sponsors? So, on to the point of this video. So, Wave 2, also known as the rest of the release wave of Pokemon Mega Evolutions, known as ME1, which is me, myself, and I. Wave 2 is starting to arrive. Obviously, stores in desperate need of capital are immediately listing that product as fast as they can. Obviously, Spider-Man continues to be used for winter wood and fodder for the winter storm coming. And we get probably the largest restock of ME1 booster boxes right now that we're probably going to get for a long time, if ever. There will be a reprint, maybe even up to 3 reprints of ME1 booster boxes over the next 12 to 18 months. But all of them will come at higher pricing, at wholesale distribution, raising the floor and the water level. All of them will come at smaller quantities. So now, as we reflect on the world that we're in, and we realize the short life expectancy of being a human in a meat popsicle on the third rock from the sun, we look at the price. Mega Evolutions 1 bounces around from $325 to $330. Supply hits the market. MSR Penis Gang is excited. Everybody's waiting for the big crash. Data shows we dropped 10%. Mega Evolutions booster boxes went from 320s, 330s before tax. We are now at a new low as of the filming this video. 275. So the great crash, the great cool off, the great whatever stupid words in the internet and this negative title era that we have to do to fit into the machine. Beep, boop, boop. Otherwise, Mark Zuckerberg will not renew my membership. I don't know if this is considered a crash. I mean, as I told you all the last 2-3 weeks in the videos, I expected stagnation from now to the end of the year as stores scramble to restructure due to the most recent Flesh and Blood set and, well, not doing nearly as well as the Hunted, High Seas, well, I guess the last 3, 4, 5 sets. We have Super Slam doing the worst we've seen. We have the most recent Magic the Gathering set, also known as Spider-Man and Spider-Man's stepsister, The Lost Journey and the Lost Profits. As stores banked on this profit into the moon stuff, and now that that's not happening and we all need to raise capital and restructure, as we all know, 90% of LGSs are almost, I don't want to say that. I was going to say, there are a certain amount of stores in collectible card businesses that are literally miniature Ponzi schemes that have to sell the product to get the cash to pay for the next product, take pre-orders to pay for I mean, it's literally like this machine. It's very scary. And when things reset or recalibrate or back up, we always get a lot of knee-jerk stuff, which always exaggerates the upward movement or the downward swing because of, well, people are forced to sell. It's like all the morons in Bitcoin and all the morons and the spies and the markets and all the other markets around the world. You have so many dumb people who are just leveraged 2 to 1, 5 to 1, 10 to 1, 20 to 1, 100 to 1. You know, there's a lot of stupid people, and greed and confidence makes you do dumb things. So, today, we reflect on the Pokemon wave hitting the market, and we kind of step back and we say, really? Pokemon remains the blue chip, the best in breed. It is artificial scarcity. It is a ton of people hiding boxes in their closet. There is supply out there. There are people, investors all over the place. These are all factual statements. No one can say otherwise. There is no shortage of the product. There is no, it sucks. Pokemon doesn't have that. There are just so many millions of people that want the product, and everybody knows sealed product of Pokemon. The cat's out of the bag. So because of that, we continue to see extreme, just, I cannot believe wave 2, the other part of our release wave, is arriving in the downward pressure. The moment to buy now, to add to your positions. We have ME1 down 10%. Like, wow. All right, well, 15%. Let's call it 15%. That's it? That's it? Like, I thought, especially with the dumpster fire and the dude sitting in the room that's saying this is fine, of Spider-Man, and I thought the weakness in the flesh and blood, I mean, essentially we have the hot new one-piece set, obviously the new white set, Azure Lane, healthy boob girls everywhere. We have Pokemon booming, One Piece with their new release booming, and the new white set booming. So we have these three. Actually, I heard the new Disney Lorcana set's doing better than it's done in like 2 or 3 sets. So kudos to them. No, I'm still not going to buy the product. But hey, I'm happy to hear maybe they're finally respecting the stores and the secondary market and all of you guys' money who are putting money in Lorcana. Maybe they're finally firming things up. Maybe a miniature giggity? Little giggity. So maybe we finally have that going on. So that's interesting. Everybody was speculating that when this product and these reprints hit, that we would see ME1 and some of these sets go back to MSR Penis Gang. Now again, coming soon, folks, as you guys know, in about 30 days from now, we have the annual Alpha Investments shirt dropping once a year. At the end of every year, we release a new Alpha Investment shirt, and the back has that year's slogan. The slogan, you already know what the slogan is going to be. It's going to be great. So we have that coming up. I got a shill. Please remember, this video is sponsored by my third testicle. If you guys locate that one, it's in between the first two. So why are we not seeing a greater pullback? Well, the market's trying. There are sold listings below 270, 260 for ME1. But if you also notice, right when we had this slight downtick in price, you will notice a 50 to 75% surge in buyers poking their head out of Rudy's basement and buying the dip. If you look at the charts, look at the average sold on eBay, average sold on TCG Player, go back to the last 30 days. Right when we had this wave 2 in the last few days, stores are getting notified, they're being shipped. I think 4 of the 5 distributors have their wave 2, or is it 3 of the 5? I'm not sure. The point is, most of it's now coming to the market. And, you go from like 50 to 100 boxes sold per day on both platforms combined. And right when we have, oh my God, a 10% drop, instead of 50 to 100 a day, we go right to 100 to 150 a day. It's like, really? The slightest little opportunity. People are like, good enough for me, I'm taking it. And that is classic textbook buy the dip bull market behavior. In other words, you have a ton of people who still want the product, even though, what are we, like a couple weeks now? I think we're a couple weeks till like ME2 drops. And they're finally getting the rest of ME1 product to market? Like that's how ridiculous the world we are in right now is. So that's where it's at, folks. I wanted to report because I thought this was incredibly important. We were all waiting to see, and everybody was speculating, what is going to be the impact of these prices. Now, when you start going backwards, I guess we'll just make this Pokemon video, fuck it, whatever. We'll just make the sponsors happy. Where are the sponsors? In my pants? Damn straight they are. Okay, so Scarlet Violet era, okay? I mean, some sets are what, $10 off the all-time high? What, some boxes that were $300 or what, $280? What, 8 to 9% off? I mean, this is ridiculous. Like I told you all, I expected market stagnation and flatness from now to the end of the year. And of course, it's kind of, it's not ridiculous, it's kind of funny. Like, I think at this point, every single influencer and professional YouTuber, I think all of us every single person in Pokemon is just labeling every video crashing into the world. It's just the funniest shit you'd ever seen. I've never seen a time where every single person is just putting end of the world titles on their video. It's like this meme that started, well, no one will watch your video unless it's negative and scary. And now everybody's like, well, I guess we all have to do that. It's the only way anyone will watch a video. It's so funny to just see, like, on YouTube, Pokemon. You just go on YouTube, type in Pokemon, press enter, or your recommendation stuff, or the recommended videos on the side. And it's all just Pokemon Crash. The end is near. Where am I? What's happened? Is Rudy bankrupt? I'm bankrupt. Where are you? I can't find my stepsister. My stepmom won't show up. The washing machine's not working. She won't show up until we fix it. We're bankrupt. It's just the funniest stuff, man. Oh, the real world is so much better than making fake shit up, man. So, I just want to tell you all again, from now to the end of the year, I do not expect a big Pokemon crash. No matter what our silly titles are, we're going to continue to lean into the memes and have fun with everything. Because again, if you're not having fun, what the fuck's the point of doing all this? I do believe from now to the end of the year, this is a great accumulation period. I think this is the time that hopefully prices stay the same. If we're lucky, we'll get a major 10 or 20% pullback across the board. Even that is probably a less than 50% chance. The most probable outcome right now is we just go sideways for 3 months. Like, for example, if you look at real estate in Florida, the average residential single-family home, not condos, not multifamily, in Florida, essentially the home prices since COVID are either flat, slightly down, or identical in the last 4 years. There's been no real estate appreciation, no real estate crash. Like, nothing's happened in real estate, essentially now, for 4 years. So, I hope that helps you all. I hope that makes sense. Let me get one more data point for you guys. All right, I want to double check because I was like, I had messages before this video and people were mentioning, Rudy, you have Scarlet Violet with this slight softening, but if you go back to Sword and Shield, like, I mean, there's nothing. Like, the further back you go, as liquidity gets more and more dry and the prices get higher and higher, and the spread between each listing is wider and wider, like, it's just wild. This stuff is just so fascinating, everybody. You know, it's always, to give you a 5-second story, it's interesting to look at a Pokemon box that's new, and there's hundreds and hundreds of listings, and every listing's like a quarter, a penny, $1 difference. And then, like, every time the product gets older and older, the spread of the price, instead of $1 or a penny, all of a sudden each listing's $10 apart. Then the market gets thinner and less liquid. Then all of a sudden it becomes $10 difference, $50 difference, $100 difference a box. Then you go back to like Sun and Moon, XY, different eras. It's like, oh, there's one box for $3,000. Oh, there's one box for $3,500. Oh, there's one box for $5,000. Oh, there's one box for $6,000. Like, the spread on these things gets so wild. But when the product's new, it's like, ugh. You know, Rudy, I found this listing. 73 cents a piece difference. I said, look, man, I can match your price up to 69 cents, but past that, you're going to have to make me dinner first. You're going to have to do something. Like, you're going to have to make me a cake. You're going to have to do some appetizers or something. We're not matching more than that. It's just the human psyche on price perspective, and the amount of young people in this industry, the amount of flippers, the amount of new people, and the amount of people that I guess are driving around the country just buying out retail stores when they open and sitting in lines and queues and chairs and camping out. It's wild, man. It's wild stuff. But as long as products are going to be distorted like this, as long as booster boxes come out, they're $300 a box, which for what? I mean, what does that come out to be on a pack basis? I mean, was that it's $10 a pack? Is it really? If products come out at $10 a pack, and MSRP's got thing between $6 a pack, you're gonna have arbitrage, and of course, specialty things are wider margins than that. As long as the margins exist, economics and capitalism is going to do its thing. You can hate people that are doing this crazy stuff around the country. You can scream and bitch about scalping. I can rent you all the Scalper Scanner 5000, powered by 69 NVIDIA chips and at least 2 of your sisters. But at the end of the day, you cannot fix the problem until the market recalibrates. And you cannot recalibrate a market unless you flood it with supply, or the market thinks the product sucks and everybody rejects it, like what happens with Spider-Man. You have to have a catalyst reset the market, or the market's going to market. And that's it. But a couple of little things. Like I said, there are outliers before I end this video here. There are small things, remember. Like, when we look at certain boxes in Scarlet Violet, if you look at, like, there's the attempt to buy out Paradox Rift to pop it to 400, it went back down to like 300. So what? Give another 6 months, right? Look at Scarlet Violet Base, sitting at all-time high at 250. Look at Stellar Crown, all-time high at 300. You do have many sets that are still all-time highs, or literally within a fluctuation variance of it. In other words, anything less than 5% is just variance on market listings and daily. You could check it this morning versus tonight and it'll be different. But you look at older stuff. I'm telling you all, I stand by what I've said for the last 40 videos in the last 2 years. Sword and Shield booster boxes. Again, because it's been at least a couple weeks since I said it, I'll say it again. Sword and Shield booster boxes. The shittiest, worst boxes in that era. Minimum $500 a box. Average Sword and Shield box, $1,000 in that era. I think most of them are already there, right? Aren't most of them $700 to $1,000 already? I guess it doesn't feel as impactful since this market's already doing it. Best of breed, $1,000 to $2,000, and fusion or whatever evolving. These things can be $3,000 to $5,000 to $10,000 boxes moving into the future. These products are still young. Okay, no buying a box. Rudy, I've held it for 31 days. Bro, my relationship with your mom is longer than 31 days. That is not a holding period. Holding periods are not measured by days. They are measured by weeks. They're not measured by months. It's literally, how many years have you held it? It's a perspective cultural thing. I know. Everything's TikTok, YouTube Shorts, swipe this, swipe that. Gambling, short-term this, sports betting, poly market. I get it. We're in a different cultural thing. Old man Rudy's over here yelling at clouds. I'm digging a hole. I'm a carrot every Thursday afternoon. I yell at the cars when they hit 5 miles an hour. I get it. But folks, long term, you guys ain't seen nothing yet. And I'm sorry, but if you think older stuff from Sun and Moon, older stuff from Sword and Shield, older stuff from XY, and anything beyond that, whatever, this is not a market top. But we are in a period that I do expect moving forward that price appreciation will level. It will slow. Look, let's say it another way. For all the special people in the back who literally only have a half of a testicle, and for some reason they have 3 arms with no legs, so you're like a mini Rudy octopus. The fuck, that's weird as shit. Damn, that's like some Silent Hill stuff. All right, we're going to edit that out of the video. Remember, folks, moving forward, I think the easy money's been made. I'm going to come out and say it. You know what? There's opportunity. The prices are going to go up, but the easiest of easy money. In other words, on the difficulty scale of 1 to 10, having a difficulty of 1 and 2, where you're like, oh, look, I can buy that. Hey, look, I made money. I think that part is over with. Now, if you go right now and you go on TCG Player and you buy a box of Fusion Strike for $1,000, ask yourself, this time next year, is Fusion Strike going to be cheaper than $1,000? Nobody knows, but on a probability risk management outlook, the odds are in your favor that it will probably be between 1,000 up to 2,000 on a bull case. On neutral, it could be the same. On a bear case, it could retrace 20, 30, 40% to 600, 700. You don't know. So again, your spread on a $1,000 rare box is maybe 600 downside, maybe 2,000 upside. Again, that looks pretty good to me. A negative what? A negative 30, 40 to a positive 100? All you degenerate option gamblers out there buying contracts with expiration dates that go to 0? So remember this stuff. Just because the rules are changing, every market cycle has different parameters, it doesn't mean that it's over with. It just means that it's different. Again, everybody says the same thing to me. Rudy, there's no opportunity because boxes come out and they're already 300. Okay, I've told you all the same thing. First of all, Pokemon boxes from day one, when I was selling them 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, and I was trying, please, here's a patron sale, buy them for $89, buy them for $99, and even then, it was a tough as shit sale. People told you to F off and die, every weekend. I said, thank you very much, I'll eat another gordita for that. But it was never supposed to be that way. It's the same, you can hate Hasbro, Wizards, and Magic, and WotC, whatever you want. Magic collector boxes should have never been $99, $149, $199. When I was selling the patrons, 1,000 patrons who bought Bloomborough for $200 or bought, I don't know, Lord of the Rings for $250 or $300, it should have never been those prices. Sure, a lot of you all have been with me a long, long time. There's thousands of you guys been with me. We've been ride or die for like 10 years now. And a lot of you guys have made insane money. But again, because the market has inefficiencies. Not because I'm smarter than you, not because I'm more retarded than you. Not because I have 5 testicles. You notice I said I had 3 earlier. Now I just grew 2 more because of the bullish market. It's not because of this. Everyone's going to feel a certain way based on what the market does. And if we continue to have... Watch. In the next 3 months, if the market stays purgatory, kangaroo market, sideways flat, I guarantee you all, I'm going to use the G word, The most illegal word you should never use. I guarantee you all, you'll see more and more negativity. You will actually see people leave the market because nothing goes up for a couple months. And that is a great thing. The best thing, and I'm going to end the video here. The best thing we could ask for, to be honest with you guys, the best thing we can ask for is Pokemon releases a shit set and like it does what Spider-Man's doing to Magic. If I could pick any scenario right now, I would like to have like ME2 or ME3 come out and be dog shit. Come out at 300, tank to 99, bounce back to 150 MSRP, and it'll recalibrate, flush the market. Everyone who's leveraged, you're going to have a whole shakeup. And that alone will put people back in their place and make people and humans and meat popsicles realize, oh, I guess I got to be careful. I guess I thought everything I buy was just guaranteed. I think we need something like that. And I've been continuing to argue, even in Magic with Spider-Man. No, it's not a Spider-Man video, which, well, I don't want to go into that. I'm just telling you all, that would be the ideal thing. We need a calibration. We need a reset. I don't think we're going to get it, but I hope we do. That would be the best thing. If new Pokemon boxes came out, even at $199, even if a TCG player on eBay had average sale-through rate and buyers and sellers were connecting at $189, that's perfect. That's perfect. Because essentially, if you go on the Pokemon Center and pay, I don't know, $170 plus tax, you're into it for $190. You can't flip it. If it's on eBay and TCG player for $190 or $199 after shipping and fees, there's no margin. If you erode that quick flip margin, you will reset the market. That's what I would like to see. Again, they should have never been $100 or less. Pokemon boxes, I've said it for years, should have, honestly, I'll even be more stupid. It should have probably never been below 130, 140. Previous MSRP gang, before the penis grew, MSRP in this gang was, I think MSRP was like 150 or 144, then 160 or 170. You know, in all reality, what does that come out to be? Like $4 or $5 a booster pack? You know, stores pay $100 wholesale price. They sell the boxes for 150, 160. That's a great market. People get packs for $5. You get sealed product in bulk for a little discount. There's margins. There's single card opportunity. Everything, it flows a little better. It takes the emotion out of the equation. Maybe one day we'll get to it. But I do want to entertain a couple little small things. We have to accept a couple small Black Swan events. Now, these are things, again, a Black Swan event is an impact or a reaction or a market event that is so rare, so improbable, we didn't see coming, but it happened. And after it happened, we look back at it and go, oh, well, shit, that doesn't seem like that. How did we not see that coming? You know, that kind of Black Swan event are very rare, very improbable, very low chance things happen. But then every once in a while, and again, in a long enough time frame, everything eventually happens. If you're a mathematician, statistician, you get into physics, all this shit, you'll understand, no matter how rare an event that occurs, in a long enough time frame, all events and all scenarios will unfold in an infinite. It gets into all variables and shit. I don't want to get into that in this channel. I feel like I'll alienate a lot of my special stepsister friends. There is a small chance that we never actually have a market reset. And no one's ever actually stopped and tried to visualize a future where that's actually like where we are at. Maybe, you know, there'll be fluctuations, but we never actually return to fire sale Pokemon boxes. There is a small chance that we have never actually considered. What if we look back in again, it's already been a couple years. I mean, how long are we going to wait? 3 more years? Another year? 5 years? A decade? There is a chance that similar to like the dead era of Magic in the 2000s, there are different eras and blocks and time frames in culture and modern society that you just will never return to. And we really, as more and more years go under our belts, and our, you know, everything sags more, and my stuff goes lower and lower, and pretty soon I got to walk around with a wheelbarrow. As I'm pushing my wheelbarrow, I have to accept there is a probable future, even if it's low, even if it's funny, even if it's shitty. There is a probable future that the Pokemon market never goes back to under MSRP. It's low. It's most likely, it's a low probability. But there are things in finance, in calculating risk, in hedging, in capital deployment. You have to factor in what we call, I used to call it in my real job days when I had a financial, when I was a big boy, I dressed in ice and actually had haircuts. And, I'd walk around thinking I was hot stuff and, hit on the beautiful ladies and say, hey, let me get you a large waffle fry. Your current boyfriend only gets you a small, when I thought I was, young and cool, now I'm just old and dumb. But in that era of my life, one of the things I remember, this older dude who worked, on Wall Street for, 20 years, and he did some training with me back in like 07. And he said, Rudy, you have to have cat insurance. You have to have small pieces of your brain that focus on cat events. I should do a good Rudy storytime video on that. And essentially, not to get into it in this video, but essentially it's catastrophic events. You have to have small things in place, assuming that there will be a point in your life that something catastrophic occurs, and you have to have some sort of arsenal to handle it. It was a very interesting thought process. So I just want to end the video on that topic. And this time we're actually ending the video. No, we're not. I'm fucking with you. It's one of these things where we have to consider that we will never return to $99, $109, $119, $129. We will never return to any Pokemon booster boxes being below 150 or below, what's MSRP? Fuck, I don't even know what it is. 180, 170, whatever it is. I mean, I guess if you just buy from Pokemon, it's like 170 plus tax, 180, 190. I don't know. I've never done that. So there is a chance that no one has ever really stopped and said, I mean, they're making good products. The market loves it. People are happier with this than they are many older arrows and blocks and sets. And, when you kind of crack that Rubik's Cube and Da Vinci Code, I mean, they're going to run with it. And Pokemon's management and the way they handle the game and print the boxes and design the cards and the artists and the styles and the illustrators, the rarity design, the print, they're crushing it, man. Even if you and I are angry, I wish I could have my pallets to hoard. You guys just wish you could have cheap stuff. I want to have my pallet hoarding thing I did for the last 5, 6, 7 years that I can't do anymore. We all have our reasons. But at the end of the day, how long until we accept that shit just ain't going to happen? So, that's all. Hope you guys enjoyed the Rudy conversation on things today. It's a beautiful weekend, beautiful weather in Florida. I'm going to go sit on the balcony in the back completely naked, and I'm going to make eye contact with every bird that flies by. And I hope you all have a beautiful day out there. Thank you to the patron army who's been supporting me for the last 10 years. Thank you to the new patrons that are always sending me messages. And some of you guys like to buy boxes when I run my sales every week. Right now, I guess I'll have another video on that. Like I said, we're averaging about 3 patron sales a week. Wednesdays we do all our Wafu, Waifu stuff, Weiss, Hololive, different card games. Our big Friday night sale, which is a Theros throwback sale. And of course, I'm in the process of restructuring some things. Like I said, we're in the process of expanding and moving Premier Card Grading and having a huge Orlando office. And we're in the process of connecting and expanding with conventions now. We're in the process of partnering with tons of LGS. There's a lot of components as we get ready for our next PCG move for expansion going after the market. It's been a really surreal experience the last 18 months, but it's been awesome. So as that's going on and we're moving and doing some of that, I want to have some more time to increase sales, do like a Tiny Tuesday sales for the random leftover stuff that I have. A throwback Thursday sales. I have so many older sets I'd like to do from like pre-2020 to offer you guys with like Magic or Pokemon or even Flesh and Blood, and even have I have a little bit of old random One Piece stuff and different things like that. I think it would be a lot of fun. So that's about it. Hope you all have a beautiful day. And yes, obviously I will continue to do my 1 and 2 Pokemon sales a month. And that's about everything. Friendly reminder, the rumors on the internet are true. Everybody gets one shot at my Patreon, and the rumors and all the negativity about Rudy online, they are true. They're not lies. People get angry. The stories you usually hear about me are completely factual. But in reality, yes, I am not on Netflix and Amazon. So yeah, when you do close your account voluntarily or your account becomes delinquent and Patreon purges you off the system, you cannot come back and you are banned for life. So those rumors about evil Rudy, those are all true. And we've done that now since 2020. We've been running that strict security for 5 years, and definitely one of the best moves I ever made. Created a lot of stability in the system. Hope you all have a beautiful day out there. Enjoy your life. Have smart people around you. Life is short, everybody. I'm telling you, one day someone needs to do a big buyout for $1 million.